Welcome to the Renewal. Topic today is how long is too long to wait on a marriage proposal. And I know a lot of women and men will have a different answer for this, but in my opinion, after 3 years, it's probably time to move on. Pay attention to the signs because you could have red flags sooner than the 3 years to move on. Never be anyone's placeholder for the next. Always remember it's never too late to start over. Please be sure to like the video, share, and subscribe.
How long should we as women wait for a proposal? No man should be with you any longer than 3 years without proposing. And I'm gonna tell you something. A man knows after 6 months. Actually, he knows before that. Now, if you're a sneaky woman, if you know that you're not an honest woman, because I tell people all the time, they be like, oh, I want him to make me an honest woman. A man can't make you an honest woman. You was an honest woman before you met him. The Bible says, I'm Muslim, but I know the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. The Bible doesn't say he who finds a girlfriend and turns her into a wife. So you have to be an honest woman, a wife before he meets you. And that speeds up the process. So if you're already a wife, you don't wait no longer than 3 years for a proposal. And that's being very generous. 3 years, that's too long. I agree. But I also feel like 3 years provides enough seasons because you don't know a person until you see them go through certain seasons. 3 years is enough time to see them go through some ups and downs. How much has your life changed in the last 3 years? But you got a chance to know yourself, and whoever was around you for the last 3 years, they got a chance to see something that they wouldn't have seen if it was just a few months. I personally think that you should be proposing after 2 years. And that third year should be we're planning a wedding.
When you guys start dating, what's the timeline for proposal? Well, if it's been 8 years, sis, that man ain't marrying you. You might as well just get comfortable with the fact that y'all are just going to end up together in common law marriage. Because that man, if y'all been dating for 8 years and he hasn't proposed yet, that man, deep down, secretly thinks he can do better than you. That one day when his potential unlocks, he'll get a better woman. That's why he isn't married. That is why he hasn't proposed to you yet, honey. That's the reason. All right? And you, poor unfortunate soul, has just been sitting there hoping that he was going to pop the question 8 years fucking later. But there is some hope for you yet, though. Because what will happen 90% of the time is that man is going to realize that he's not going to become rich and famous. He's not going to become a rock star. His options for women and his virality is going to decline considerably. And he's going to get more rejections when you're not looking than he is comfortable with. And he will eventually settle for you, ma'am. So that will just happen. Likely the state will just decide because y'all been living together long enough. So now you're married. Congratulations.
How long to wait for a ring? Firstly, any guys watching, if you're in a relationship with a girl and you've been in the relationship for more than 2 years, propose already. What are you waiting for? Either propose or dump the poor girl and move on, okay? Secondly, when to propose? Between a year and 3 years is perfect. Around that 2 year mark of going out with the person, proposing around that time, very good. Very good. Okay, guys, any guys watching, just propose already. What are you doing? You're just getting engaged. You're not actually getting married. There's nothing to be scared about. You're just getting engaged. You're just putting a ring on it. Get engaged, you scaredy cats. If you want to be with the girl forever, propose. What are you waiting for?
Ladies, I'm going to be real with you. If you're in a relationship with a guy and he waits longer than 1 to 2 years to actually give you a ring or to propose to you, I'm going to tell you 110% that he's not attracted to you at all. And he doesn't really want to be with you for long term. The only reason why a guy would make you wait this long is because you are not his only option. And he is talking to other girls. See, he just doesn't want to settle down with you in case the girl that he actually wants comes around. If he truly wanted to marry you or put a ring on your finger or wanted to be long term with you, you would have known that from the jump. See, a guy knows if they're going to play in your face from the get-go or if he's actually going to want to be in a committed relationship with you. He's not going to wait. But instead, since he doesn't have the woman that he wants yet, he is going to make you wait as the placeholder. The worst part is he can literally wait years and still give you the same excuse like, oh, I'm not ready yet. When in actuality, He just does not want to be in a committed relationship with you. Believe it or not, marriages are cheap. You can literally go down to the courthouse and get married. And rings are cheap. They're not that expensive anyway. But yet he is going to give you all of these excuses to avoid that he doesn't want to be with you. The sad reality is a lot of girls have begged and pleaded for a ring from their man for years. Then he finally gave her that ring. And it wasn't a ring because he actually wanted to be with her. It was a shut up ring because he was tired of hearing about, oh, you haven't put a ring on it or anything like that. And he just wanted to lock it in place because he doesn't want you going anywhere. And he's going to cheat on you, commit all these infidelities because that ring does not mean nothing to him. But y'all stay safe.
If he doesn't ask within the 2-year mark, he's never going to ask.
See, here's one thing I don't understand. Why do some of you ladies allow yourselves to be girlfriends anywhere between 3 to even 10 to 15 years? And then, you know, the sad part about it is some of you guys are girlfriends for like 10 years. And then you guys break up. And you lost all that time, invested all that time on someone that knew he wasn't going to commit to you. And then he goes on to date another person, and boom, he's married within a year and a half to this girl. A man knows what he wants. He knows whether he wants you from the get-go or he doesn't. And ladies, please do yourself a favor. Do not beg a man or ask him when he's going to propose to you or force him to marry you. You have to let him do it on his own time. And if he doesn't do it within a specific amount of time that you give yourself, at least 2 years, walk away. Yeah, I know it's scary investing all that time and having to walk away and not knowing what's out there, but you gotta value yourself and know your worth. Because if this man really wants you, he's gonna commit to you, and he will do whatever it takes not to lose you. And if he doesn't, he didn't really want you.
I was just talking to my grandmother about marriage, and she said, if a guy hasn't asked you to marry him within a year and a half, 2 years maximum, he doesn't love you. No. He does not want to marry you. In fact, he'll keep you around until he finds the woman that he wants to actually marry. Men know very quickly if they want to marry someone. It'll take them literally less than 6 months to know that this is my wife, I want to be with her. In fact, a lot of men have said on the very first date, they knew that was their wife. So don't let a guy waste your time. If you're around the 2-year mark and there's been no talks of marriage, I would question his intentions. I would question what's going on, because you don't want to waste another second of your best years being a placeholder for a guy while he's sitting there searching for his wife.
We got a date for 5 years before you decide I ain't the one for you. Because he had to make a decision in 8 months to get down that aisle. It has to be certain non-negotiables. If we don't set them, somebody else will set them for us. If I give out of emptiness, that's how discouragement sets in. That's how depression. I had gone through depression because I had given all I could give, and I did not have a covering, a support to pour back in.
I do not think it takes 5, 6, 7, 50 years and 13 days and umpteen hours for a man to know if he wants to marry a woman or not. I just don't think it takes that long. It could take 3 months, maybe a year, maybe even up to 2. But after 2 years, that's 8 seasons, 24 months, 104 Sundays. You should know by now. You should know by now, dog. Like, what are you still needing to see, or what signs are you still waiting to be shown from on high? Like, me and my old lady, well, me and my fiance, we were a situationship for about 2.5, 3 months. We dated exclusively for 3 months. Then we made it official. Dated officially for about 6 to 7, 8 months before I was like, yeah, I could do this for the rest of my life. Granted, even at the time when I decided that, I still knew I had to grow and get better at some stuff. She had to grow and get better at some stuff. But I had seen enough foundation, enough base layer for me to be like, yeah, this me right here. This me. And granted, I didn't give her a ring until we had been dating for 2 years, but I already knew I wanted to marry her 6 months into our official relationship. And then the time between that decision and when I actually gave her the ring only further confirmed that. right? So I guess I'm just trying to figure out, if you do think it takes 3, 5, 7 years, what are you still needing to see after 2 years? 2 years should be plenty.
So I get a lot of women who say to me, I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Why didn't he marry me? I think that after 5 years and 10 years and 15 years, that it's too late to wonder why. The better question is, why did you want to be married and you decided to wait that long? What happens is, a lot of y'all give men everything. You give them everything. They put it in your keister. They put it in your mouth, your ear. You're having threesomes with them. You cook, you clean, you shut up. You bail them out of jail. You show them about how to build their credit. You teach them about life insurance. You teach them how to be a good dad to their parents. You give them everything that you have without one of these. And you get 5 years and 10 years and 15 years down the road and you're sitting there talking about, can I get a ring now? Why would I do extra work for the same amount of pay? I have experienced you in every way. You have given me everything that you possibly can give me. Why would I feel the need to commit? You are already you did everything wifely like without this. You done gave me babies. You done gave me your youth. You done gave me your best years. Even if you wanted to leave, I feel like, well, shit, they can have you now. I've had my way with you. I did what I wanted to do with you. So no, I'm not gonna marry you. I'm gonna tell you shit like it's just a piece of paper. I'm gonna tell you shit like, let's not complicate this because I got you where I want you at. And this is why you save some things for marriage. Am I lying?
It's like too long of a wait.
5 years.
5 years? For real?
5 years, no ring. What the fuck are you doing?
For real? You think
Yeah.
so?
And he won't lie. And he won't lie. This is ladies, men, they, them. After 5 years, if it ain't no ring, no proposal, give it up. Give it up. And I 100% agree with Duke, because me and my friend, we have had this discussion time after time after time. We've always said 5 years. If I'm with somebody for 5 years and they ain't proposed, and we ain't even talking about no marriage, no nothing, I'm out the door, baby. Because what are we here for? Or what are we really doing? You get. Another thing also, too, like when you first start dating someone, like, the questions that need to be asked is like, hey, do you ever see yourself married? X, Y, and Z. Because if they told you no in the beginning, you need to leave. Especially, you need to leave if you want to be married. Stop sticking around thinking that you can change somebody's mind. No. We're not doing that no more. It's 2024. Don't stick around. If they told you straight up, nah, I don't see myself getting married, and you want to get married, baby, that person ain't for you. It's time to head on out and go and, manifest and meet somebody else. And, don't waste your time on that person, because you're going to waste your time. They just told you they don't want to be married. So why stick around? Anyways, that's just my TED Talk for today. That's what I believe in. After 5 years, if I don't see no ring, baby, I'm out the door. Sorry. I'm just going to be like, hey, this is not working out. We don't agree. Because if you think it takes that long, it don't take that long. And I always said it don't take that long to know if you see yourself marrying that person or see yourself having kids with that person. It don't take that long to know. It don't. You just know. And for me, I just, my feelings, like my intuition, I just know, So stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. Ladies, men, they, them, stop wasting time. We're not wasting time no more in 2024.
You with a man for 5 to 10 years with no ring. You are not his dream girl. He's still out there looking for his wife.
Facts. And the one that he won't, he gonna marry her ass within 1 to 6 months when he get with her. He's dragging your ass through the mud. You giving him everything you can for nothing. Because he can, a clean slate. He gonna walk his ass away, his happy ass, with some other girl to leave you stuck and hurt. Save all of that drama and deal with it the right way. The hell he waiting on anyway? The world to end before he marry you? Get it right, ladies.
So many women are waiting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for their man to propose to them. What kind of man is that you're waiting for? You're waiting for a man that is in his undeveloped masculine. He's afraid. He lives in the frequency and the energy of fear. The ability to be committed, to be decisive, to be assertive is not within him. He wasn't taught it. He wasn't shown it. So he doesn't know how to be it.
You want to know why he's not marrying you? And I'm going to tell you. You think it's about you. You think if you could do something different, it would inspire him to want to marry you. The problem is we're trying to paint with paint that already dried. See, when a man meets you, he decides very quickly. I mean, legitimately within the first 15 minutes to 2 hours, whether or not he is going to pursue you and marry you. A man can move you from the I want to marry her to the I don't want to marry her category. But I would say very, very rarely, like in the never category of rarely, does a man ever move a woman from the I don't want to marry her to the I do want to marry her and it actually work out long term. And by long term, I mean happily married for 50 years. So let's circle back. You guys are together. You think you can do something that will make him want to marry you and inspire him to ask you and give you a ring. You cannot. If he did not decide that he wanted to do that immediately, like within the first 15 minutes of meeting you, it's not going to happen. He might give you a ring and he might marry you. He does not feel that way about you. He is not going to feel that way about you. If you pressure him to get him to marry you, you are going to be miserable. Your best bet is to ride this thing out as long as it works for you, cut ties, rebuild your life, period.
A man will absolutely date you for years and never marry you and drag you along for years. Let me explain. Girls, I am telling you, I'm reading so many of my comments and it makes me so sad because I see these girls saying that they've been with these guys for years and they wasted all these years with a guy. Girls, I'm telling you from personal experience, and I'm also telling you from the fact that I work with thousands of men, thousands of them. A guy knows when you're the girl, and they know early on. But guys are different than us. See, if we don't like a guy, we're not going to have, sex with them. We're not going to, if we don't like them, we don't want to be bothered with them. Men are not the same. Men are not the same. A guy will stay with the girl that he's getting sex from. Maybe she's pretty. Maybe she's, fun to be around. Maybe, think about it. He's got someone to go out with for holidays. He has someone to be his +1. But he'll never propose. He just won't. He won't talk about a future. Guys, when you're the girl, you're going to know you're the girl. But I also want you to be careful because you will also have some guys that will lie to you and say, I love you. I want to marry you. I promise I'm going to put my ring on your finger. And you'll be like, oh my God, he loves me. He's going to marry me. And they never do. That's not a good guy either. Listen to me, girls, please. A guy knows early on if you're the girl for him. And if you're the girl for him, you will not ever be in doubt. Trust me on this. You'll never be in doubt. Never. If you're in doubt or if you're in a dating relationship that's gone on for years and years, it's not a good sign. I have to be honest. You're probably not the girl he's going to marry. And if he does marry you after a long period of time because you bitched at him and complained at him and people are like, why don't you marry the girl? Why don't you marry the girl? Now he feels like a jerk for not marrying you. He will not be a good husband because you're not the girl of his dreams. In my opinion, I know it's an old-fashioned way of thinking, but I swear I absolutely believe this is very, very true. A guy has to like the girl more than the girl likes the guy. The minute the girl starts liking the guy more than the guy likes the girl, the dynamic of the relationship changes. She starts to chase. She doesn't even realize she's doing it. No guy wants something that they want to feel like they got a prize, like they won something, like, look at what I got. This is my girl. That's what they want. They want the girl that they can show off to everybody and say, this is mine. And that's not about like beauty. That's about like, they love you. They love every part of you. And they can't imagine their life without you. Just imagine what I'm trying to say here.
If you are not the girl, they're not going to propose. They will drag the relationship out. So if you're in a relationship for years and you're like, it's not going anywhere, I haven't gotten a ring and this and that, more than likely it's because you're not the girl and he's kind of holding out to see if the right girl comes along. You don't want to be the girl he settles for. You want to be the girl that he wanted more than anything. So I hope that helped. Take care. Be well.
Receive a marriage proposal no later than 2 years and married no later than 4 years. Because if you can receive a high school diploma at 4 years, a college degree in 4 years, you should be upgraded to a wife and have a marriage certificate in 4 years.
When I met my husband, he made it very clear that he wanted to be with me. In fact, he proposed after just 2 months of knowing me. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to have my story, and how quickly someone commits is not an indication of how successful a relationship will be. The bottom line is that when it's your time to meet your person, nothing can stop it. I waited for my husband for a very long time. So many nights crying and praying, God, where is my husband? And up to this point, I had experienced a lot of men who just were never really serious, who confused me, made me think they kind of liked me and then didn't do anything about it. But when I met my husband, there was no question. He called my father within a month of dating me to tell him, hey, I really love your daughter. And he asked for my hand. We ended up getting engaged a month after that and married 7 months later. So really fast. And then I got pregnant with my little baby and we had her almost a year and a month later after getting married. So I share all that to say that, sis, wherever you are on your journey, it may look delayed, but when the time is right and the person is right, it can happen in a moment.